You can start.
Thank you very much, Chair.
Now 5 minutes past 8.
Good evening, Mr. Adams, and welcome back. Look, there is no doubt that what you experienced is something so unprecedented. It's something that we have never heard of. It's actually shocking. That's why you say at first you didn't even know what to do with the information. And there is no doubt that it's something you're going to remember for the rest of your life. How come you forget the date when it happened?
Honorable Member, it's a real pity my wife is not here tonight. Because she could tell you I forget my children's birthdays, and there are days I walk around in the house and then they tell me, do you know it's your birthday today? I'm terrible with dates. I'm terrible with small details. I do understand where you're going, but trust me when I tell you in all honesty, I do not remember the date.
I'm sure you sometimes even forget your birthday.
I actually forget my birthday every year.
Okay, now let's take you to paragraph 9 and paragraph 8. In your statement, yes. So you say in paragraph 8 that you decided to hand over the information to SAPS. But to paragraph 9, on paragraph 9, you say you decided not to hand over the evidence. But later in your statement also, you would have handed over the information to someone from the state security agents. It's quite confusing from where I'm seated. To whom was the information handed over?
Chief, initially, when I walked to the police station, I walked from Parliament, I thought to myself, I'm not going to hand these documents to the constable or the sergeant or whoever is going to take the case. Because one of it is marked top secret. Thinking to myself, I'm going to give it to the investigating officer when he contacts me, so we can shorten the line of people that know what's in this docket. But then, when I was tipped off to the fact that my dockets had gone missing, I decided I wasn't going to give it to SAPS. I was going to, well, not right then, but when the IG contacted me, when the IGI contacted me, I decided this is where my information is going to go. And I must tell you, in all honesty, it wasn't because I thought or knew that this was the right place to leave the documents. It was just, I literally wanted these documents off my hands, but I didn't want to give it to just anybody, if you follow me.
Okay. Now, you get this information and you rightfully say that you got confused to an extent you did not know how to handle this information. And with a possibility that this information may also be fraudulent. So when did you decide that it's an authentic report?
I didn't. Remember, I handed it to the IGI for further investigation because I had this feeling in the back of my mind, man, that somebody wants me to run to the newspapers with this. And I'm thinking to myself, but what if it's fraudulent? What if it ends up with egg all over my face? For this reason, I kept it quiet at the time.
So you have got your friend Lincoln. Is it Lincoln?
Andre Lincoln, Major General Andre.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
Was he working in the Western Cape or the Cape Town Central Police Station?
I actually would not be able to tell you. What I can confirm is he was the first head of the AGU. He was a very bitter man because they had been promised the type of resources allocated to the PKTT, and then the plug was pulled. So he was very bitter towards the SAPS.
So how does he get to know when, by who, and how were your dockets collected from the police station?
I would have no clue, sir.
And you did not ask?
I did ask.
Okay, let's go to the IGI. The IGI calls you and asks you about your cases. Does he tell you how he knows that you have opened the cases?
No, sir, he does not disclose.
He doesn't tell you. Are you people generally who called each other even before the incident?
If you had to ask me the day before who the IGI was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. We've never called each other before.
Okay. Did you know the information contained in the
You know,
reports you received from the door?
I actually wouldn't be able to answer that. But what he did say to me is, I have an interest in the cases that you've laid. My office, rather, that I think I'm quoting him. And that was it for me.
So it did not strike you that at least you must be aware whether did the IGI get your contacts? How did he get your contacts? Because in the usual course of events, he would say, I am Xola Nqola, the Inspector General of Intelligence. I got your number from Khusela Sangoni. I'm calling you in respect of this. I got a briefing from so-and-so that you would have found yourself in this situation.
I would love to encourage you, my brother, to think a little bit more of our intelligence services. They have their ways and means of extracting information, like telephones, like emails. The IGI found my number. Maybe if, like Honorable Malema is insisting he gets an opportunity to sit here in this chair, he can tell us how. It's actually, I'd actually also like to know. I don't know how he got my number. And you know what the funny thing is that I don't think I was using the state-sanctioned WhatsApp at the time. I wasn't using the phone that was given to us. So that's actually quite an interesting question.
You're not using the Parliament one?
No, I don't use that for WhatsApp because I'm told that those things are hackable.
Do you know why the IGI was suspended by the president?
No, maybe the president will tell us.
You are not aware
I'm not aware.
of why you were suspended. Now, you receive a call from a lieutenant colonel checking you about your cases and wanting to meet you. So you say you successfully avoided meeting him because you were suspicious. So maybe you can, because in the paragraph you don't specify why were you suspicious of this police officer, and you say you were later vindicated. How were you vindicated?
So I've laid charges. The dockets are collected. We've now established that it was in a safe somewhere. So there was no intention from the SAPS to investigate. So now a lieutenant colonel calls me telling me he's going to investigate. Now, why I felt vindicated is because according to the SAPS structure, a lieutenant colonel does not investigate a general. So even if this guy was a genuine lieutenant colonel, he didn't have the authority to conduct an investigation. And for this reason, whenever he called me, I just palmed him off politely. No, man, I'm in Joburg. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in committee all week. I just gave him, because he called a few times, I just gave him an excuse every time until he went away.
Okay. I've never seen a grabber. At what times does a grabber become redundant? What did you actually mean?
You know, technology is a very funny thing. It evolves consistently.
Yeah.
Like an iPhone 6 is no longer in use because it's obsolete. So the grabber that was purchased by crime intelligence, by Dumisani Khumalo, mind you, they bought an obsolete grinder. See, the construction work in me is coming out. Obsolete grabber. They bought a 4G grabber in the 5G era. But I have a suspicion that they knowingly bought that 4G grabber. I have a suspicion that they never intended to buy something at work. Because if you look at what the rumors are that the price was so inflated, I think they just bought a grabber for the sake of buying a grabber so they could loosen some money. That is what my suspicion is, but it's not something I can confirm. Like General Mkwanazi would say, I thought to myself.
Do you know which year was this grabber?
I actually do have the data written. It's either in my office or at home, but I do, and I can supply it to the.
No, just the year. You said you are not good with dates.
I'm terrible with dates. Terrible.
Was it not 2017?
Don't want to lie. It could be, but like I said.
Was the evidence that we have here is that there was an attempt to buy a grabber by crime intelligence in 2017, but the grabber finally was not bought.
You know,
there are a lot of issues here, they say.
You know, Honorable Nolak, because I'm speaking under oath, I don't want to feed you the wrong information. So if I do have the chairperson's email, I can mail him the date first thing in the morning.
Yes, please, okay. Please do. Chair, no further questions. Thank you.
Honorable Sangoni.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson. Mr. Adams, tell me, now that you've delivered your testimony, when all is said and done, what do you want us to take out of it?
I would like for this committee to just look at the facts. Don't take my word for anything. Look at the facts that I've supplied. Look at the facts that the accusing team have supplied and make a reasonable judgment and make reasonable recommendations. But I would like this committee to understand that at the very top of the South African police services, there's a cabal so corrupt, it threatens all of us. All of us. Honorable Kola Barnard, who I must admit I don't have much of a liking for, but she spent 25 years in this parliament doing her best. For a man to go on national TV and accuse her almost of being part of a cartel and then offering no evidence, that was defamation under oath.
Okay, let's sorry, I'm going to push you because of time. Let's look at these facts that you say we must look at. Now, the accusing team, I learned a new term today. I'm assuming that you and Ms. Mashale are part of the accusing team.
No, we are the accused.
Oh, are you the accused? Okay. Now that we've clarified that, Ms. Mashale says the information was not classified. You say it was classified. Which is it?
I thought parts of it were classified. Patricia wouldn't know any better because I never showed her the information. And I do think that she's trying to protect me somewhat, which you know what I love about her. But if I must tell you,
how does that help us? Because you said we must look at the facts. She had exactly the same information that you had. She says it's not classified. You say it's classified. Okay, how do you know it was classified?
there was on the one document, it was written top secret.
Okay. And now I'm trying to go to the facts now. One of the criminal documents you opened related to the abuse of the Secret Service account by Lt-Gen Khumalo, who you accuse of channeling funds of the PKTT. How much did he channel or siphon, or whatever the word is, and how did he do this?
You know, honorable member, if you look at the 2021 uprising in KZN, when General Mkwanazi and then Minister of Defense, I forget her name now.
Nosiviwe Nqola?
There we go. They were having a hell of a spat, and it was ugly and it was public. And General Mkwanazi accuses her of staying at a 5-star hotel.
Honorable Abrams, my question is...
No, I'm getting to it.
General Khumalo of siphoning funds.
I'm getting to it. Then the general accuses the whole minister of staying at a 5-star hotel, as if it's illegal. But the PKTT is staying at 5-star hotels. And I'm telling you that this is one of the ways where they're siphoning money. So if you're asking me for a total, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a forensic examiner. I'm not even an investigator. I'm asking this committee to look at it. I'm asking the committee to summons the ledgers.
Okay, you can assist us with evidence that they were staying against government regulations, I'm assuming you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Then you say the PKTT is a private service of former Minister Ele. Can you substantiate why you made that allegation?
100%. So earlier I heard testimony, with the Raptor's testimony that the PKTT did not do the raid on Vusikat Matlala's house. The leader of that raid was in actual fact Lieutenant Colonel Khumalo from the PKTT. So I believe that investigation will prove that the PKTT is being used by former Minister Cele to bully people.
Mr. Adams, you've opened dockets, right? So I want to know, when you're making these allegations, what evidence are you relying on?
I never opened a docket saying that the PKTT is being used as I never opened that docket.
Part of the dockets which accompanied Lieutenant General Mkwanazi's affidavit, where he lists each and every single docket that you put there.
So because General Mkwanazi says that it's a fact.
Okay, what did you then in your docket indicate?
Just show me the page number, please, ma'am.
I'm not sure if you have Lieutenant General Mkwanazi's affidavit.
I do.
Okay, I will tell you the page number now as soon as I find it.
Somewhere. Got quite a bit of paper with me. Just give me Mkwanazi's document.
If you look at page 3 of 8, it's the complaint. Okay, I don't have the pagination now. I can share it with you. But he says Orlando case number, and then he writes it out. There you spoke about Major General Dondo failing a polygraph. The next one, you accused General Khumalo of the Secret Service account. The next one, you said General Khumalo was involved in a cover-up of Valeria. And then you then said General Khumalo and Major General Lushaba are utilizing funds to purchase vehicles. Now, do you have any evidence to base any of these allegations?
I don't want to delve into the merits of the case, but all the evidence that I had pertaining to those dockets were handed
You
to the
have
IG.
evidence.
I handed it all to the IG. All of it.
So you said that, and I'm quoting here, that in a civilized country, if I could find it, in a civilized country, if Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi did what he did, going around and speaking on things without evidence, it would have been dismissed or something to that effect. Why must we take you differently from Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi? Because you come here and then you just say,
Don't take me differently. Take the judge who signed off on the arrest warrants differently. Because Khumalo is in court. Madondo is in court.
So you claim to have evidence of all of that.
I gave the evidence to the IG. I don't know how the IDAC got it, but what I can tell you is everybody in this room knows that General Khumalo was arrested.
Okay. On paragraph 25, you said General Mkhwanazi would have been dismissed. Oh, sorry. On paragraph 45, you say no one disagreed with the disbandment of the PKTT, and here you're referring to the Police Portfolio Committee. No one disagreed with the disbandment of the PKTT until a reason was needed to attempt to complete the capture of SAPS. What do you mean by that?
Exactly what I say, ma'am. I was in the Police Portfolio Committee. Honorable Skhosana was in that committee. Honorable James was in that committee. Honorable Kola Barnard was in that committee. And the disbandment of the PKTT was read to us as a fact. General Khumalo brought the presentation. There was not one word mentioned against it by anyone, including Mkhwanazi, until they needed a reason to call a press conference. Now, please understand, when General Khumalo says that we've had one politically motivated killing in KZN this year, and therefore he essentially says the PKTT has come to the end of its life, I accept it as a fact. Mkhwanazi, on the other hand, feels different.
So are you saying that the Portfolio Committee, as well as these generals, then got a reason to complete the capture of SAPS? I'm confused.
Not the Portfolio Committee.
Okay.
What was the reason for the 6th of July press conference? It was according to General Mkhwanazi himself, because the National Commissioner was at the gates of prison. It was to defeat the ends of justice, if he was telling the truth. This is what I'm saying. It's about the capture of the SAPS. It had nothing to do with the PKTT. The PKTT had been agreed upon in portfolio in front of all of us that it was no longer
So you think Minister Mkhunu was correct to disband the PKTT?
I think that the minister may have overreached. I think he should have discussed it with the IMC, which I didn't think at the time. But I'm willing to concede that because I was in full support of the minister. However, there was no disagreement on the disbandment of the PKTT.
Okay. Do you know Mr. Cedric Ngabinde?
I've met him.
Before or after you wrote to the minister?
I walked into Mr. Nkabende in the road outside here. Must have been a few weeks after.
So you didn't know him before
I never met the man before.
Okay, now on your annexures, and I do apologize, I don't have them in front of me now, where you emailed the minister, where did you get the minister's email from? Email address?
If I don't want to lie, I'm almost sure that I got 3 emails from General Lincoln, and then he called me and told me the first one doesn't work. I think it was 3, but I think I sent it to 2 emails, I think.
Okay, so you emailed minister at 8:21, and then 4 minutes later you emailed Ngabinde. So what happened in those 2 minutes? Who did you talk to?
No. Nothing happened in between those few minutes. I got the email addresses from General Lincoln in the evening. And the morning he called me and said to me, that first email doesn't work. And then I sent to the other 2.
Okay, now why did you go to IDEC and not IPID again?
IPID is toothless and useless. How many cases have they refused to investigate? How many recommendations have they not made?
Why was this within the mandate of IDAC, according to you?
I didn't know if it was in the mandate of the IDAC. I'm testing anyone and everyone. And if the IDAC didn't get back to me, I'd have mailed the FBI if I needed to, but we needed action on this thing.
But you chose not to go to IPED.
No.
Okay. So General Lincoln informed you that dockets were missing in the Western Cape. Who notified you in Gauteng?
General Lincoln again.
Oh, he also has access to Gauteng.
That man was a legend in the service.
What exactly did he do?
People respect Mr. General Lincoln for being who he was, for risking his life to fight for those of us sitting here today.
So what was his role that he could access such information?
I have no clue.
Very convenient though, Mr. Adams.
Why is it convenient, ma'am?
No, because General Lincoln is not here to give us this information.
I
right?
don't know if this is going to come as a surprise to you, but all of us will die. All of us.
So tell me, you said, okay, 2 days or 3 days after you messaged the minister, you contacted IDAC. Who did you contact at IDAC and how did you get this person?
I was given the number by General Lincoln. He did not give me a name. He just gave me a number. It was a female. I did not ask for a name. I said that I need someone to contact me. I'm a member of parliament. This is my number.
Okay, you had very scathing remarks to say about General Mkhwanazi and the 21 July unrest. You said he took leave. How long was this leave?
I don't know how long paternity leave is. I've never taken paternity leave. Where I'm from, when your baby is born, you leave work, you go and check if the child has 10 fingers, 10 toes, you make sure it's got the family nose and you go back to work. That's what I'm understood. That's
So
how I understand it.
are you from KZN with
I'm
a
from
wife
Cape
from the
Flats.
Eastern Cape?
I'm from the Cape Flats, ma'am.
Okay, let me finish my question if you don't mind.
Yes, yes.
General Mkhwanazi testified that his wife gave birth in KwaZulu-Natal. She is from the Eastern Cape. He drove through the night, took her home. Where we come from, that's what you do. Now he went back to work, having checked the nose the following day. Now that's why I'm asking you, when you come here and you say he took leave, what do you have that is contrary to what General Mkhwanazi said?
I'm not, you're going to have to argue with Minister Nqola, because she's the one that says that they
It's
were
very
accountable.
convenient that when you ask direct questions, somebody else is responsible for what you're saying.
If
not
I
you.
was the defense minister at the time, I'd give you a direct answer. I wasn't. She's the one that was struggling to get a hold of Mkhwanazi. And also, if he drove through the night, that was one night. The case in unrest went on for weeks.
And he
Weeks.
testified that he was there. He wasn't gone for weeks.
Ma'am,
Okay. Can you direct us, and hopefully this might be my last question. Which policy says that crime intelligence buildings can only be used by crime intelligence officials?
just a second. I actually do have the documentation here with me. But there is a policy on the purchase of buildings and the use of them. I've got a lot of documents here, but I did actually bring it with me. Just give me 1 minute.
No problem.
One second, Chairperson. Excuse me. I know I'm using your time, Honorable Member.
It's all right. We've waited long enough to have you sitting there, Honorable Aiden.
That was all the fault of management. I never ducked this committee once, only because I don't have to. Chairperson, here's quite a lengthy document explaining all of what the honorable members asked. May I give it to you so you can just hand it over to the rest of the committee? It's quite a lengthy document. If I start reading now, I'm going to use all of your time. Thank you.
Okay, and then my last question to you, you said that
Thank you, Chief.
on paragraph 25.1, under oath, General Mkhwanazi claimed he would arrest Minister Bheki Cele if he committed crime. Minutes later, accused Mr. Cele of trying to draw him into his own wrongdoing, in spite of admitting to this house, blah, blah, blah. No docket against Mr. Cele, what. So basically here, the accusation is that General Mkhwanazi is favoring Bheki Cele or protecting him, shielding him. What is this wrongdoing that you think that General Mkhwanazi should have arrested Bheki Cele for?
I wish General Mkhwanazi had told us, because he said he tried to draw me into his wrongdoing, and that's when I distanced myself from him, and that is a quote.
But is trying to draw somebody into wrongdoing, does it necessarily mean it's a criminal offense?
I don't know of any wrongdoing that is not criminal unless you're under 18.
Well, I don't know because General Mkhwanazi apologized for having implicated Mr. Ele in getting money somewhere. Now you are expecting a document to be opened and you put this in your statement. Document for what? Because that would be a crime that you're alleging.
If I am the Provincial Commissioner of KZN and I'm accusing the minister, a whole minister of wrongdoing, it will be in a written grievance or a case number.
Or it could be a boys trip like he was telling us that they took boys trips. Would that not be wrongdoing?
Maybe then,
How do you come to the conclusion?
maybe then the general
It should be a crime.
Maybe then the general should clarify that.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. I'm done. Thank you, Honorable
Thank you,
Adams.
Member.
Yali.
Oh, thank you, Chair.
Chairperson. Honorable Nwala said he wasn't going to do it.
No, I will only ask 4 questions.
Tell General Mkhwanazi I say hello.
Let's go to paragraph 14 of your statement.
Paragraph
14,
14.
yeah.
Yes, Chief.
You are saying it is deeply frustrating because if the committee had been allowed to do its job, many of these issues could have been resolved. Which committee are we talking about?
The Police Portfolio Committee, honorable member.
So it has not been allowed to do its job.
I was blocked. I have tried to get truth out of these generals and there was no assistance from the management of the committee.
You tried to do what?
I tried to get answers out of these people, out of General Masimola in particular, and it just wasn't allowed.
Answers about what?
The hotels, the cell phone grabbers, the security.
So that is
clearances.
after you opened the case, right?
Yes, Chief.
So was it necessary for them to give answers to you whilst you've opened the case? Because
No. Chief,
the matters you were asking about were under investigation.
I think you have a fair point on the hotels, but then that didn't happen when I requested the security clearances of certain generals. When I spoke about the 100 million rand Mandrax bust, that was never reported, that no longer exists. Those were the questions I was coming at.
You know, initially I was under the impression that you were not aware that the documents that you claim to have found under your door were classified. I thought you were not aware. But you've just said when you were answering Honorable Nqola, they were written top secret.
One, only one.
So why did you not take them to Parliament,
That was marked top secret.
to the committee?
No, it was marked top secret.
So when you took them to the police station, were you opening a case or you were submitting them?
No, I did not submit them.
What were you doing?
I opened the case. I was waiting for the investigating officer to contact me. Then I ran it over.
Let's go to paragraph 45. You are talking about a transgression which was endorsed by the National Commissioner.
Just hold a second, Chief, when I'm struggling with my armpit.
And we are saying this transgression, we are calling it a transgression because we are saying it is against SAPS protocol,
It is
the media briefing.
Act 56 of, I think it's 56 of the SAPS media policy.
What does it say?
It says that you're not allowed to threaten journalists and also you're not allowed to make claims that you cannot substantiate.
So which claims were made?
That there are political, that there are members of parliament shielding cartels,
I beg your pardon?
that there are members of parliament that are shielding cartels. It was said,
So has that not been substantiated?
no. It
What-
has not been substantiated because Mkhwanazi says so doesn't make it a fact.
No, I think you must say you don't agree with what.
No,
he
it has
said.
not been
Don't-
substantiated, Chief.
Don't say it has not been substantiated.
My leader, just because you agree with it does not mean it's substantiated. No evidence was brought before
Just because you disagree with him doesn't mean it has not been substantiated.
so we can agree to disagree.
Okay. You are saying on paragraph 32. Matlala was the cash funeral of either General Masemula or Pegitele or both. What evidence do you have to prove this?
You know, Vusikat Maklala has essentially put himself in jail by admitting that he's given Pekitele a cash gratification.
And then with regards
So,
to Masemula,
I don't believe you can separate Masemola and Bekitsele. Because if you look at the logical points of it, like Honorable James said earlier, if you connect the dots, excuse me. Vusikat Matlala received this tender. The National Commissioner has admitted that he was aware of the process, but he didn't stop it.
Of which process?
That Vusikat Matlala was about to receive the tender. He's admitted it.
No, but I'm asking evidence here because we are making.
Chief, I'm connecting the dots for you. Why is it okay that Sentimule can connect dots, but Fadiel
those
Adams
dots are invisible.
No, Chief. No,
I
Chief.
don't see any dots here.
No, Chief.
They are all
Why?
seen by you. Which dots are we talking about?
Chairperson,
Yeah, I'm
hold on,
asking
I'm
for
speaking to the
evidence.
chairperson. May I speak to chairperson? Chairperson, I'm going to ask that I be treated as every witness before me. The witness before me was allowed to connect the dots. I was sitting right there. The person who brought us here said, in my thoughts, in my
No,
opinion.
but-
Now I'm connecting the dots for this honorable member and I'm asking that you allow me to do it.
No,
please.
but dots can't be imaginary.
What?
I'm
dot?
talking
Am I
about-
imagining the fact
No,
that
no,
Vusikat
I'm
Matlala received a
talking about
360 million rand tender?
Which
Am I imagining that?
Which
Am I imagining that he got 50 million rand out of the SAPS?
Which
Am I imagining this?
No.
Am I imagining the fact that Masemola is the accounting officer for the SAPS?
Yeah, calm down, then I'll ask.
So you got the dots. I'll
Calm
calm down now.
Calm
Thank you.
down, then I'll ask you questions. I'm asking you about evidence. Which evidence do you have which suggests that Masemola benefited
answer you this way.
actually from Mr. Matala?
Let me answer you this way. If Masemola does not receive a gratification, why doesn't he stop this madness?
Why doesn't he?
Why doesn't he stop this madness? Why doesn't he stop the tender or the payments? Why does he allow it to flow?
No, I'm not saying you must guess here and ask
I'm
me
asking a question, Chief. I'm
I'm
not
saying,
guessing.
do you have evidence?
I've just given you the evidence.
But do you have evidence?
Okay, I'll tell you what, Chief. Let me concede the fact that I wasn't an eyewitness. But then let me ask this portfolio
So
to
you don't
investigate.
have, except
Can I
these dots,
finish?
except these dots that
Honorable
you are talking
Mbalo,
about.
can I finish? Can the witness talk?
The person, you can pass the mic to Honorable Skhosana. Thank you.
Only-
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, Mr. Adams.
Good evening to you, Honorable Leader.
Madam, you testified that you found an envelope containing documents alleged exposing criminal activity within crime intelligence that has been slipped under your office in I think I'm not sure whether there's a carpet there. But I guess that we can get it for footage. Who has put those envelopes there? Because in our offices, there's CCTV cameras there. Am I right?
There's a camera in the passage there. And I would have thought that state security would have looked at that already.
Yeah, the chair. I think that's the first thing we should do. That we must, exactly get who put that envelope under the office of Mr. Adams. I think the secretary will have that for us. Can you tell the committee who authored those documents and how they were anticipated or verified, and why you accepted them as credible evidence before you open a criminal case?
Honorable Skhosana, for the sake of time, I'm just going to refer to my previous testimony that I had no idea if these things were credible or authentic. I don't know who put it together. That is why I decided to hand it over to the right investigating body.
Yeah, but before you do that, you look at them, am I right?
I did it.
Now, before you open a case, I mean, you can't just take a document because somebody said Honorable Nombal and Honorable Skhosana have shot someone outside there, then you go to the police, am I right?
Yes, you can.
You'll apply your mind.
Yes, you can. It's up to the NPA to decide it is a case. That's why you open the docket.
Now,
I'll walk you through the process if you want me to.
no, I understand that. I understand
then
very, very well.
But then, honorable member, don't tell me I can't do it.
No, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying that if people bring envelopes in your office every day, are you going to open cases every day?
Yes, all day.
Okay. You indicated that you did not initially hand over the documents when opening the cases because you feared the information was classified. Why were you fearing the information was classified?
There was one document that was written top secret and it looked official.
Was it outside the envelope?
No, it was inside the envelope.
So you opened the envelope?
Yes, I opened it. I had to read it. I mean, how else am I going to know
Yes.
what's in there?
Yeah. Now, and I'm asking you, you said you feared, you were afraid of looking at this document. Am I right? It's in your statement anyway.
Honorable Skhosana, I am from Lavendale 7945. We are afraid of nothing. I opened the thing and I feared that it might be false.
You feared that it might be false. Now, can you explain where those documents were stored and who had access to them and whether there were verifiable chain of custody existed for the committee to assess their integrity? Talking about the committee.
I'm sorry, my brother. I can't explain because I have no idea where they came from. I don't know. You know, there's a part of me that says I can't be the only member of this house that received those documents. Because we're a two-seat party. And I'm sure that somebody slipped that documents to many, many people. Yeah, I'm just sure nobody else. Can I finish, please?
Yeah, because
You asked me a question. Can I finish, please?
Yeah,
please.
You responded already.
I'm just telling you that I think I was the only one foolish enough to see this thing through.
Now, you rely on advice from the late General Lincoln regarding the handling of these allegations. Am I right?
If I did not take the advice of Andre Lincoln, I would probably be in jail for sharing classified information.
When was that? On which month did you spoke to General Lincoln?
It was in the same week that I got, I think it was a day or two after.
No, when? Which month is it?
I think it was in October. It is somewhere. If you want me to search, I can, but I don't want to use your time.
October when?
Just give me 1 second, please, Chief. I do not want to perjure myself. Just please. My head and dates, we are not the best of friends. Can you just find me the first page, please, man? Please. I'll give you the date if you want to keep going, Honorable Skhosana.
I'll wait for
Okay.
you. Because that's where the matter is now.
First page. Sorry, man. Don't you have my statement as well? Oh, yeah, I got it. Sorry. I'm sorry, I gave her the wrong documentation. It was in the last week of October
Which year?
in 2024, sir.
2024, am I right? Now, and when did you open the case?
The case numbers will give me the dates. I can share that with you. Have you got the case numbers there? Thank you. I'm looking for the case numbers. I've got it here. I didn't expect.
Okay, why you are busy? It's fine because of time. Did General Lincoln personally review the documents you received, and did he provide any written advice or corroborating evidence that supports the seriousness of these allegations?
I told General Lincoln what the documents were about, and he asked me if there was top secret in any of them, and I said yes, and he said, then don't show it to me. You'll get into trouble for that.
But you're in trouble already because you look at them as well.
I'm in trouble for receiving it.
No, I'm saying, you say, no, receiving is something else. You look at those documents, am I right?
I opened the envelope, yeah. That's what
So
we
you
do.
look at them.
So if you get an envelope in your office, you're not opening it.
No, I'm asking.
No,
I'm
I'm
saying
asking.
he said to you.
No,
But you can't ask me. Remember,
Chief,
I'm the one who's
if
asking you.
I'm expecting you to be reasonable, but you're not.
I'm
saying
very
to you,
reasonable.
I'm saying to you, if you find an envelope on your desk, you're not opening it. So you're not doing your job.
No. I'm saying to you, you say General Lincoln said you should not look at those.
He said to me, don't show me the documents.
Right. Now, you testify that after being warned, the first docket might be suppressed. You open a similar case at Orlando and Laklachte police station. Why were you opening cases in 2 different police stations?
Because
In fact, it's 3. It's not even
3.
Yes.
So what happens is that when my dockets are collected here at Grand Central, I decide to make it hard for someone. Whoever.
Someone.
Well, right now it looks like Lieutenant General Peter Jacobs.
Yeah, but do you have evidence that is Peter J. Jacobs?
The evidence I'm relying on is General Sentamule, who spoke before me.
No. I'm asking you that
Nowhere in my
remember when you open a case, you can't say the evidence is me.
Chief, nowhere in my statement do I allege that General Peter Jacobs collected my documents. I say my documents were collected.
Yeah, but my question is, did you have evidence on what you are alleging? I'm asking you why you went to 3 police stations.
And if you'll allow
And let me just finish by saying to you, perhaps you can clarify these 3 dockets, whether were identical and whether you inform investigators in Gauteng that the duplicate cases has already been opened in the Western Cape.
the documents were not identical. The reason I went to different police stations was just in case somebody was collecting my dockets again, I'd make it harder for them. And none of them were duplications. And no, I did not tell the police in Gauteng that the dockets were collected in Cape Town. I felt it was none of their business.
Now, you suggest that SAPS official attempted to suppress the dockets by diverting them to provincial office. What documentary proof or official records do you have that shows the removal of those dockets was procedural or irregular or part of a deliberate cover-up?
I am not an investigator. A man who I trust with my children's lives told me my documents were collected. That was good enough for me. What has since transpired, especially on the sworn statement of General Sentimule, was that my documents were in fact, actual fact collected, and that it was found to be with Lieutenant General Peter Jacobs. Now, I am not saying she's right. I'm saying this is her testimony.
Yeah, but now I need your testimony now, Honorable Adams. You specify that you met Inspector General of Intelligence and handed the information to Advocate Governor, am I right?
Yes, sir.
So you had copies of this document. You opened cases, then you went again to the Inspector General.
If you listened to my statement now the other night, I did not hand any information to the police. The copy that I had, I gave it to the IG.
So when you opened the case, you just opened cases in those.
I just gave a statement, a sketch of what was of what had happened, and that I wanted further investigation.
But because you were afraid of something, what were you afraid of?
Few things: my life, the documents disappearing, the suppression of the case, further cover-ups. I can go on.
But why then do you open a case if you are afraid of dockets to go missing?
What are my options, Honorable Skhosana?
No, I'm asking
The
you.
only place I can open where I can get a case number and have something investigated is with the SAPS. I can't have it done from Parliament.
Yeah.
I can't have it done from the hospital. I can't have it done from the civic.
True, I understand that.
Can I finish?
Yeah, I understand that.
Everybody's asking this question, but nobody's telling me you should have done that.
No, I'm saying to you, remember, you don't trust the police, am I right?
Not at all.
But you still went to the police station to open cases in the police station, am I right?
I know people that don't like the day hospital, but they have to go and get their tablets there. I don't trust the police, but I needed a case number.
Yeah, now,
Am I right?
Or you only needed a case number, not the matter to be investigated.
I wanted the thing on record.
Yeah,
That's what I want.
That's what I'm saying.
Chief, my statement requires further investigation.
Yeah.
So,
Now-
so what I'm asking for is further investigation, as long as I'm in possession of a case number. So if they hijack, I can move against it.
Now, you made an allegation against General Khumalo that his testimony relied on the material generated by, what do you call it?
AI.
ChatGPT. Yeah. Do you have evidence of that?
If you read his testimony and read what AI gives you, it's virtually identical. But I'm glad you bring up General Khumalo, Chairperson, because I would like to retract my retraction now the other night. General Khumalo was in actual fact the head of crime intelligence KZN at the time of the KZN uprisings, Honorable Skhosana.
No, I understand.
No. Can I
But
finish?
I'm asking about the,
Just because you just triggered something. You asked me to retract. I retracted. I retracted wrongly. He was the head of intelligence KZN.
Yes.
He was the reason for the failure of intelligence that led to the deaths of 300 people. But back to the point again.
Sorry, can you, I beg your pardon? You said for the failure of?
He was the reason intelligence failed KZN with the 2021 uprisings.
Do you have evidence of that?
The Human Rights Commission will tell you. I've got the report here if you want it.
Yeah, no.
Brilliant. I'll give it to you right now.
No, listen to me. we all know the report from all our state institutions, whether it's Human Rights Commission. But I'm saying, you are saying to us today that the person who's responsible for the upheavals of the July 2021 is General Khumalo.
Chief, that's not me saying it's the Human Rights Commission making a finding.
I'm asking you now, because I'm talking to you. Human Rights Commission will call them at the right time if we
Honorable
need to.
Khusana
I'm just asking you.
Honorable
Say,
Khusana,
are you saying?
let me help you. You're
Yes.
asking me for evidence. I'm saying here's the Human Rights Commission report. That's evidence. That is
it's
evidence.
entirely on John.
That is evidence admissible in court. You don't need to like it, but that is a fact.
No, I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just asking you to say, are you saying today that because the Human Rights Commission says that in one of, not necessarily in one of the, you are saying it's General Khumalo who's responsible for July 21 unrest.
I'm not
Right?
saying he's responsible for the unrest. I'm saying he's responsible for the failure of intelligence.
The failure of the intelligence.
Yes.
And General Mkhwanazi, you said because he was on leave.
Man goes on leave while his province is burning, so there's nothing I can do about that.
No, I'm saying we are blaming him as well for him to be on leave.
I'm telling you the man went on leave, sir. I'm telling you that any man who would have stood by the hospital window and watched his province burn should have been fired.
So I'm asking you, it's not about sentiments here. I'm asking you a simple question. Are you saying it was wrong for General Mkhwanazi to be on leave because they are banning Spar supermarket or they are banning a stadium or whatever?
Because 150,000 people lost their jobs and 300 people lost their lives. He shouldn't have been on leave.
Let me say to you, if he was in, those people would have been alive today.
We could have saved lives.
I'm asking you.
We could have saved lives.
Yeah.
The troops work best
Yeah,
when the
but
general is
let me
there.
ask you, Mr. Adams.
I'm not saying that 300 people wouldn't have died. I'm saying we could have saved 1 life, 10 lives,
Yeah.
15 lives. Who knows?
Yeah, but remember, those culprits, if I may ask you, are those culprits being arrested as we speak here?
You know, this is something that I feel very passionately about because the 300 people killed during the KZN riots, those were politically motivated deaths. And the PKTT is not investigating that.
No.
So you are asking the
No,
wrong
no.
person if the culprits are being arrested.
No. Some others is not politically, as you say. It was thugs who killed. I don't even want to mention their name because you know them in a particular suburb. The main people passing the door, innocent people. You know that.
Honorable Skhosana, the Human Rights Commission says it was politically motivated, and I take their word over yours. Are we okay
No,
with that?
but let me tell you, the fountain of wisdom is not only human rights commission in this country. We have many institutions here. We've got Parliament as well.
Chief,
We need to probe that. We can't say because Human Rights Commission said so, then we are closing our eyes.
I will welcome you, Chief, if you start probing it, but that's what I have before me right now. That is a finding, that is accepted, and that's what I'm going with.
Yeah, now, you criticize the SAPS leadership for failing to name cartels operating in South Africa. Can you provide the committee with an independent intelligence report, case files, or investigating finding confirming the existence of such cartels that SAPS allegedly ignored?
Can I answer you like this? At the press conference, the cartels was the headline. At the ad hoc committee, there was no information on the cartels. You can't ask me-
Why are you saying it was
Can I finish?
headlines?
Can I finish?
Yeah, but don't,
Can I qualify my answer?
Yeah, okay.
Honorable Skhosana, this can't work, my brother, man. Please. If
yeah,
you
but
ask me a
don't
question-
mislead us, please, because when you say headlines on the July 16 about cartels,
The most striking part of that July 6th press conference was the cartels.
yeah, but that's for you. For me, it was not, and for other people, it's not.
Let me retract.
Cartels.
Let me retract.
Yeah.
But at the July 6th press conference, it was about cartels and the existence of cartels and the politicians protecting cartels. And at the ad hoc committee, it was no, we've got no evidence of this.
Yeah,
Then they name a thug. Vusikat Matlala is a thug as a cartel boss.
No.
But
Yeah.
they've got no proof of that either.
Yeah, but-
So you, Honorable Skhosana,
Yeah,
you
but-
cannot ask me for the evidence of cartels if the head of intelligence can't provide you evidence of cartels.
Yeah.
He's the one sitting with a R1 billion budget, not
yeah,
me.
Yeah, but listen to me, Mr. Adams. If you have evidence is not information. Information is not evidence. We are giving me information. That's not evidence. There's a huge difference between evidence and you said there's facts. And I'm saying to you, isn't correct for you that you have facts.
Any-
Facts for yourself. You cannot be facts for all.
Any-
We must still probe that.
Any
Do you agree?
Any investigation starts with information.
Yeah. And then now
What
are
I'm
you saying-
doing?
Are you saying to us you've got evidence?
Of cartels.
Yes?
No, I'm not the head of intelligence. Ask Dumisani Khumalo.
No. Because remember, it's you. You said that to me. You've got evidence. Most of your things, like you said.
When did I say this to you, leadership?
No, that document which they put under your carpet, you regard it as evidence. And I'm saying it's not evidence.
I regarded that as information, therefore I laid a charge.
Yes.
I'm
So-
struggling
so
with you.
it's not
Struggling with
evidence.
you.
But we agree that is not evidence.
What is not evidence, sir?
Those documents you have.
A judge finds that there's prima facie evidence.
I'm saying to you, we are saying the judge. I'm saying to you, is that the evidence? Because the matter is still under investigation. There's no judgment on that.
So you understand how prima facie evidence works?
I understand, yes.
Well, that's what a judge found. So the
So-
judge found enough prima facie evidence to authorize the arrest of a whole general, knowing what the implications are if it's false.
No.
Can you let that sink in?
No. Let me ask you this way, Mr. Adams. Are you blaming General Mkhwanazi to tell the country what is happening in this country? Let's start there.
Am I blaming General Mkhwanazi?
Yes. For what he has done on the 6th of July.
General Mkhwanazi played the last card available to him. He called the press conferenceman and he told lies. And all
No.
And you asked me a question, let me answer.
No.
And all this was done to save his bra,
No.
Masimola, from arrest. He's admitted to that.
Who admitted to that?
General Mkhwanazi said that.
He said he was saving the national commissioner.
That's what I just said.
Where?
Chairperson, help me.
No, I'm asking you where.
Chairperson, help me. Ek is in pyn. Ek kry nog 'n kop.
No,
Help me.
Mr. Adams, let's not go gossip here. Because those things are maybe on the street there, not in our committee where I sit.
Honorable Skhosana, General Mkhwanazi says that he tried to save the National Commission.
No. Give us that evidence, Mr. Adams. I've never heard that.
Well, I'm happy to play it for you inside or outside, sir.
Yeah, please, if you can, if you have that, please
I will
play
find
it.
it to you. I'll send it to the chairperson.
Because for me, it's for the first time I'm hearing that.
Let me quote General Mkhwanazi for you. The National Commissioner was at the gates of prison. That's what he says.
Was what?
Am I the only person in this room that heard it?
No, you're talking to me. I'm the one who's asking you.
I'm telling you what he said, Chief. You are free to
He
dispute.
said the president what?
He said the National Commissioner was
Yeah.
at the gates of prison. That's the reason for the press
Was
conference.
against the president.
At the gates of prison. Can I have a blackboard behind me? I want to write in big bold letters.
Oh, gates of prison. Oh my God.
No, it's not got nothing to do with God. It's got to do with fraud, corruption, and nepotism. Don't blame God for this.
Now, because of time as well,
Thank God.
you suggested that businessman Vusi, inverted commas, Matala, because he's not yet found guilty as well. So it's still an allegation against him. Am I right?
Vusikat Matlala has been jailed for 4 years. He's a criminal.
He has been jailed for 4 years.
He was jailed for 4 years. He's
No,
admitted it.
I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about now. The
He's
case.
still a criminal. He's a convicted criminal. Whether you like it,
Yeah.
whether you don't.
No,
He's
no.
a convicted criminal. He's a boof. He's a scallum.
Yeah, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm talking about this matter now. I'm saying to you, you are saying Vus Matala may have acted as well as you say he's a criminal, you know, whatever.
They don't say he's a criminal. The court say he's a
No,
criminal.
but I'm
No, but
still-
you must stop twisting the facts to turn your narrative
No.
here. Let's say it together. Vusikat Matlala is a criminal. Come work with me.
No. I'm not in a shebeen. I'm in parliament here.
But you're acting like
No. I'm not going to dance to that. I want us to have facts here.
Chief, here's the
Let's
fact.
not be.
Chief, here's the
Yeah.
fact. And your lawyer colleague next to you can confirm Vusikat Matlala is a criminal.
Yeah, I'm saying to you now, to you, I'm putting this to you. What direct evidence do you possess that links the timing of that press conference to an attempt to obstruct the influence of potential criminal procedure against the National Commissioner? I'm talking about evidence now.
The only evidence I have is the testimony of General Mkhwanazi.
Yeah,
His own words.
But do we all
For-
listen
for-
to him? Maybe you listen in the other way around.
If the evidence is there, it's on the YouTube, it's on everywhere. Unless you're going to discredit Nkwazi himself, because that is what he said. He said it. He said it himself. He was under no duress. There was no gun to his head.
So he said the National Commissioner was on the case of the prison. Why? Did he explain on the press conference?
That is what I wanted to know from this committee is why didn't you ask him that when you had the chance?
No. You are part and parcel of the committee.
I'm not part of this committee, Chief.
No, I'm not talking about ad hoc. He's coming back here. I'm talking about the portfolio committee. Because remember, he started there, am I right?
Yes, he was there.
Yes.
Yes, he was there.
Do you agree?
Yes, he was there.
Did you ask him there then?
No, at the time, I'm still processing what was said.
Yeah, so if I'm saying to you, we are still processing that too, yeah.
You
What's
are
wrong with that?
processing. What are you processing?
What do you ask me now to say why you haven't asked him?
But he was right in front of you.
No, he's coming back here.
Well, then, hallelujah.
Chair, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Skhosana. This has been fun. I'm going to, Chairperson.
Can you please retract that? It's funny, Chair, because we are not here for
It's been funny. I said it's been fun. I enjoyed it as fun. Chairperson, can I just request just a 10-second recess? I just need to grab a tablet behind me, please. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. I just need to grab a tablet behind me.
10 seconds.
Thank you.
But before you use the time that you request, can you recite those lyrics again so that Honorable...
Oh, that Vusikat Matlala is a criminal.
So that Honorable Khwela Barnard
She better be nice to me tonight.
can also tune in. Yeah? Because I see Honorable Skhosana is like me. We are used to the notes. You learn the notes do, re, mi, fa, so.
No, we will sing it on the plane when we go to KZN tomorrow, Chairperson.
So if you just want to start without the notes,
No, Chair.
yeah, you start with lyrics.
Chairperson, can we get back to serious business, please?
Honorable Khwela Barnard, are you ready?
Thank you, Chair. I would ask that my colleague perhaps moves a little bit. I can't see the witness. Sorry.
Out.
No, not you. Thank you. I'm sorry to do this to you again.
Should I move to another chief?
No, he's very obliging. Thank you very much. Let's start with what is your personal theory on who is leaking information generally from crime intelligence, let alone classified information, and to what end? Because there are now constant reports, weekly reports, pouring out of crime intelligence and in the newspapers and the news online.
The honest answer, Honorable Khwela Barnard, is I don't know. It is a concern because if you go onto social media, there's like 7 or 8 people constantly posting sensitive things. I mean, the fact that the IGI's report has been leaked to the media, it's a concern. I don't want to mention a name without even a little bit of information because I don't really know people at crime intelligence, to be honest with you. Because General Theo, in our last discussion, that must have been 2 weeks ago, told me that this is a ticking time bomb. He said it's only a matter of time before someone gets killed because of these leaks. So it is a real concern.
Look, I agree with you in your statement that the JSCI did not exist at the stage when you received the documents. It was only constituted on the 1st of April 24. So your options were indeed very limited. And that fact meant you had to go to the SAPS or the Inspector General of Intelligence or both. So what outcomes were you looking for in terms of both of those visits?
I was just looking for justice, Honorable Khwela Barnard. And I told someone, I think it was the weekend, I wish I'd thrown those documents in the bin and just forgotten about it. Because it's actually turned my life into a nightmare. There was a stage, and there's people behind me that can confirm it right now, where I would have to have armed people collect my kids at school, where I would ensure that my wife didn't walk anywhere, not even to the shop, because it was hectic. The strain on my family, for all the good that may come out of this committee, I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know. The times I had to move my family from our home because we were just concerned about the amount of cars stopping. When the neighbors tell you about people stopping in front of your house, taking pictures of your home, it was a nightmare. So there's a big part of me that wishes I'd torn those documents up and just walked away. But when I look at what these people have allegedly done, I'm actually very glad that I didn't.
I'm not sure if you're aware of the 2018 High Level Review Panel report on state security and the State Security Agency, known as the Mufamadi Report, which found that excessive secrecy and the cloaking of activities under national security were used to conceal widespread criminality, corruption, and political factionalism within the South African intelligence services across the board. Now, that was released by the president in 2019 and provided a damning indictment of the agency's operations. It seems you're claiming or agreeing that exactly the same thing is happening in crime intelligence, using secrecy to cloak criminality.
I wasn't aware of the report, Honorable Kolobana, but it does not surprise with me.
Not a secret
It's not,
report, it's out there.
but I hadn't read it, but it doesn't surprise me. And I'm 100% in agreement in what was said, because it does appear as if there are people at crime intelligence and at SAPS as a whole who see the funds from crime intelligence as their own personal ATM.
Now, this committee is looking at possible criminality within our security services. Now, what you've raised here speaks precisely to that. I've never seen classified documents outside of the JSCI, so it's a mystery how you came by them. I don't know who leaked them to you, put them to you, shoved them under a door, whatever they did with them. So you spoke to the information about properties purchased by crime intelligence, which now seems to be endlessly reported on, presumably also via a crime intelligence leak. Do you have contacts within crime intelligence who speak to you regularly?
No, ma'am, I do not. I do not.
So where are the leaks from?
I tell you again, I don't know where those documents came from. And if I knew, I would certainly tell someone. Maybe not you, but I would have told someone. I don't know who put those documents there. I'm hoping the cameras will reveal something. That is the reason why there are cameras. If I wanted to lie about where those documents came from, I would have said someone left it on my windscreen. Someone left it at my Mitchell's Plain office. There are no cameras there. I'm telling the truth that I walked into my office and there it was.
Okay, your theory on why this particular entity is leaking like a sieve. To what end?
I think that it's a factional thing. I think that one set of crooks might be trying to oust the other set of crooks, but we also can't discard the possibility that there may be good policemen left in crime intelligence that are really trying their best to clean up. I don't know. I can't give you a definitive answer, but it wouldn't surprise me if one band of crooks wanted to get their hands on the till.
I do believe there are good cops within crime intelligence, within the state security age, everywhere. And I think, and I've seen what's happened elsewhere, when the good cops become overwhelmed, they've now reported things, they're ignored, it's shoved under carpets, something breaks eventually, and this information starts pouring out. My personal theory is that's what's happening now, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, do you believe that the late General Lincoln, had he lived, would have been tracked down and charged for speaking about this matter with you, for advising you to do what you did? After all, we see whistleblowers today, hounded, killed. Have you felt physically threatened personally?
I've had the feeling that I was being followed many, many times. My children have told me that there's a white car driving around every second corner they walk. We've had that. And General Lincoln told me that he was looking forward to a fight with the people that run the SAPS. And I must be very honest with you. I was looking forward to having him sitting behind me tonight. It is a real pity that he's not here.
Paragraph 13. You say you were deeply suspicious of the motives of a man who asked to meet with you as he was to investigate the cases you'd opened. You explained earlier how you avoided his calls. Now, what made you suspicious? Some might say paranoid, in terms of a police officer saying he was going to investigate your matters.
Yes, he called. And my issue was I'd laid the charges, my dockets had been collected. So there was no intention to investigate until I'd spoken to the IG and the IDAC. But when he introduced himself as Lieutenant Colonel, because again, I said to him, I think my first conversation went along the line of we can meet next week. But then I said to General Lincoln, Lieutenant Colonel, I think it was Phillips called me. And then he said, Lieutenant Colonel. I said, yeah, because I didn't find anything wrong with it. And he said, but a Lieutenant Colonel can't investigate a general. And I said, what does this mean? Break it down to me. I'm stupid. I'm slow. Then he said to me, Fadiel, this is going to be covered up. It's at this point I decided I'm not meeting you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Paragraph 15, you claim that Lieutenant General Khumalo purchased a redundant cell phone grabber. Where did that information come from? Is it a reference to the notorious 45 million rand spent on the grabber pre-Nasrec?
That is 100% the grab I'm speaking about. I mentioned that in portfolio also. It must have been 18 months ago.
Yes. What prompted you to begin asking about the lack of security clearance on the part of various top police officers? I've put out statement after statement over the years, many years, about exactly that. And the way top police officers, they dodge it, they duck, they dive, they won't go. But what prompted you to query this at exactly this time?
I am convinced that the carnage on the Cape Flats is happening because we have unqualified people in the wrong positions. If General Patekile does not have a security clearance, he shouldn't be operating as the provincial chairperson, provincial commissioner. If General Makhashalala does not have a security clearance, he should not be the head of detectives of this province. Now, I can't confirm if they do. I'm using them as examples. But what I'm saying is that it is widely said everywhere you go that there are many, many dozens of generals who do not have security clearance because some of them can't even apply because they've got criminal records. Now, these are the people that the force cannot keep on. We can't under any circumstances. So the reason that I'm so upset about all of this is I can't verify it, but I've read somewhere that our intelligence budget was cut by 100 million rand to purchase these hotels. Now, 100 million rand puts boots on the ground, it puts drones in the air, and it puts investigators on the road. Now, children are being raped and killed daily because there's not enough funds. Right around the corner here sits organized crime. Policemen that are expected to combat cartels are working from cell phones because they don't have laptops. But we're buying Lani hotels, 45 million rand grabbers that don't work, top of the range sports cars if we want to. Meanwhile, poor children continue to die.
Paragraphs 23 and 4, you seem to link the 26th of June 2025 arrests of the Crime Intelligence 7 to the press conference of the 6th of July. Now you say 6, actually it was 7 because Lieutenant General Lushaba was rearrested, so that makes 7. Khumalo, Madondo, Lelakalaka, Gabela, Nkube, and Mokwele, they were granted 10,000 rand bail. They were ordered not to enter the premises of Crime Intelligence, but Lushaba, of course, remained in custody as his other matter, for which he'd been arrested a week before, was it was a Schedule 6 criminal offense. So owing to his pending case, it all became very messy, and such did not reflect on his affidavit. Now you seem to link their arrests with the July 6th press conference. Was that deliberate?
You know, Honorable Member, I watched that press conference at home. And I said to my wife, this has got nothing to do with anything except the arrest of Khumalo. Little did I know that I'd later hear it's because the National Commissioner was at the gates of prison. That press conference was a show of force, like he says. It was a show of force to threaten all of us. Arrest my friends. You'll see what happens. There was no other reason for guns behind him. There was no other reason for the camouflage uniform. It was a threat to this house, to this democracy, and to the rule of law. That's what it was. Hence my statement, Mkwanazi is a constitutional delinquent and is not fit to wear the uniform.
Have you had any feedback from the IDAC on their investigations into the matters you raised with them?
The only feedback I ever get from the IDAC is that the investigation is underway and they are making progress.
Final question. We read earlier today with an earlier witness about the internal SAPS report that cleared Lieutenant General Khumalo of the charges, your charges, as there was no evidence supplied. Now, how do you view that the SAPS believe that unless a civilian provides concrete evidence, the charges must then be dismissed? It does seem to me, in my many years on the Police Portfolio Committee, that so often a criminal charge against an officer who's in court being charged criminally, you see the same person being cleared internally.
But what do you expect when the head of SAPS legal is Bekitele's former legal counsel? What do you expect? And I'm asking this committee to look into the appointment of that man. And also look at his standing with the LPC, because he calls himself advocate. But when we check with the LPC, we don't find a record of him there. Please, he was appointed as Chele was leaving office. And we are reliably told that there was no interview process, no advertisement. So please, look at the man who finds Khumalo not guilty without seeing the evidence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
I'm coming to kill Buddha.
Honorable Thopa.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening, Honorable Adams, and to your family that's here with you. I hope you're doing okay there with your shoulder.
Thank you, Honorable Klopper. See, guys, I told you he was nice.
Honorable Adams, during your testimony, you did make a statement, and I wrote it down when you were speaking to Advocate Makhatse. You said you're a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. Could you just explain why you said that? Because we're dealing with lots of contradictory information. We're dealing with a lot of testimonies back and forth. Why would you use that statement?
When I say I'm a conspiracy theorist, it's based on the simple fact that I generally believe that where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, I've been a thief long enough in my life to know that when something goes wrong, there's generally a thief involved.
Don't even know how to respond.
What are you saying, leader? No, some of us can admit to our shortcomings, Chief. I was a thief for many, many years and more.
Thank you for your honesty, Honorable Adams. When you were questioned, I noticed a discrepancy. When you said you made the cases here in Cape Town, then the dockets were fetched, you went to Gauteng, you mentioned that you had a feeling something wasn't right. A little later, you said General Lincoln had actually warned you. And I just want to know, which one was it? Did you have a feeling, and I ask it with a reason, was it General Lincoln that warned you?
Chief, just to put it into context, General Lincoln warned me.
Okay.
He called me and told me your dockets. I remember that conversation. So your dockets have just been collected. I'm like, General, what does this mean? He says, it's in the provincial office. And me being stupid, I say, what does it mean? He says, it shouldn't have happened. They've broken the law. They're going to cover this thing up.
So General Lincoln was warning you, and it sounded like he had solid advice. He was telling you what was happening. Did he share any other suspicions with you?
No.
There was nothing else that he was giving you information on that could have assisted you and this committee?
No, he did not share anything with me. But let me tell you how solid General Lincoln was. General Lincoln was the type that could call me at 9:30 at night and tell me, you need to get to Woodlands quickly. So what's the matter, General? They're about to start shooting. He was that good.
All right. Thank you, Honorable. You said that you didn't inform the investigating officers when you made the cases at the second and third police station. Do you not think, in hindsight, it would create a bit of confusion and hamper investigations instead of insisting it?
No, because when I got onto that plane to Johannesburg to lay the charges, I was convinced that the cases that are open in Cape Town would never be investigated here.
And you said you don't, I can't verbatim recall the word you said, but you said you didn't think the minister handled the matter properly at a stage. You went to him after because you don't trust SAPS. Then you found a problem with him. He did reply to you within an hour. The chief of staff again within 40 minutes. What exactly did he not do according to you that was, who could have done better? Let me ask you in that way.
Well, there's always something that can be done better. I expected the minister to be harsh in portfolio. He wasn't. I also wrote to the minister. I asked him, I mean, this is much later. The IGI has concluded his report. He's confirmed this with me. He says the report is with you. Please bring it to the portfolio so we can discuss it. The minister didn't reply to that. At that stage, I was under the impression the minister was part of the cover-up. Today, I understand that I was wrong.
Honorable Adams, when you open a case, then an investigating officer wants to speak to you. You say you politely declined. You found reasons not to speak to him. I do want to understand. You open a case, someone wants to investigate it, then you decline to speak. And I understand your reasoning, but I'll get to that in a second. Does it not undermine then the credibility of the complaint? If you're refusing it, and I'll get to the ranking now in a second.
Chief, remember, the dockets have been collected. My conversation with Major General Andre Lincoln is, they're not going to investigate. This is why I go to Johannesburg. This is why I call the IDAC. This is why I go to Joburg, to Pretoria to see the IGI of intelligence. Only after this do the SAPS want to speak to me. So the ranking thing was explained to me by General Lincoln, but in my mind it was why now? If you understand what I'm saying.
I do. Is it possible that the Colonel Phillips,
I think it was
was appointed to investigate that the dockets were interfered with and not the criminality or the allegations that you made? Because there's two parts to this, Honorable Adams. The one part is that you make an allegation and that needs to be investigated. But the second part is you're saying, well, my things were tampered with. You've gone to the IGI, you've gone to ADAC, you've gone to the minister. Everybody's investigating now this matter. Was he then not appointed to investigate the tampering?
That would have made sense if I had laid a service delivery complaint. I hadn't.
No, I understand. I saw that in your testimony. But I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, because they have realized now there's tampering, like what you explained. So someone had to investigate the tampering.
You see, in my view, it's not that they realized there was tampering. They had tampered. So for me, it was a case of the IGI is investigating. Hopefully the IDAC will investigate. We don't need the SAPS to investigate anymore. That was just the way I saw it.
No problem. And I'll leave that. Honorable Adams, I'm not an expert just like yourself. You've said it, and I'm not shy to say I'm not an expert at these matters either. But the question I also wanted to ask, when you spoke about the files being fetched in Cape Town, and I want to understand, is that not also possible procedure, considering the high profile nature? I mean, these are classified documents. We know people got arrested. My question is that a possibility or not a possibility?
No, sir.
Because you had contact with Lincoln.
There was no possibility. That was exactly what I asked. Is it not because of the profile? And then General Lincoln said to me that the SAPS and the SANDF are the two most structured entities in the country. And if you don't follow the protocols and the procedures, your head will fly. There was absolutely no chance of that happening. None.
Honorable Adams, you also make a very bold claim about SAPS having stolen the mandrakes. And you went on to say that in your testimony, while you were verbalizing it, you said that, well, if the National Commissioner didn't know, he knows now. Do you have any evidence of the SAPS actually having stolen that? And Honorable Adams, I'll ask this, I think, with the same passion that you have, and I really hope you do have evidence. Because I feel strongly about my kids, the same as what you do, and we wouldn't want our kids getting hold of drugs.
Honorable Klop, I asked the question in portfolio. I gave them the case number. I said, here you go. Here's 100 million rands worth of mandrakes that has disappeared. I mean, that has been confiscated. Why is it not in the media? I was given a response, and it's in the minutes which I've submitted, that it's undergoing further investigation. When we checked a few weeks ago, months ago, on the status of that case no longer mentions mandrakes. It talks about firearms. So the question we have is, what happened to the mandrakes? And therefore we say it's stolen. I know it's a bold claim, but let the National Commissioner come and make a different one, because 100 million rands worth of mandrakes, that's almost exclusively sold here on the Cape Flats. And that is why it's personal to me.
No, 100%. And I think those are the questions that needs to be, that's why I'm asking them, because there is an opportunity to still question. And I want to ventilate these issues because it doesn't help if you don't come forth with it now, it will be lost. You made another claim about the PKTT and you said, you bet your seat in Parliament. I think I heard you correctly.
You did.
And you said that, other people are staying there. It's a money laundering thing. I want to understand, do you have any evidence of this as well? Again, I'm asking and I hope you have evidence of people staying there because it's not that it's trying to prove you wrong, but it's about having when we have to compile a report, that there's actually evidence that we can use to substantiate why we want something followed.
Honorable Klopper, when any SAPS team, task force, unit travels, where they stay? They stay at the City Lodge. 1,000 Rand a night, 1,100 Rand a night. The PKTT is being housed for 10,000 Rand a night. So I'm saying to you with confidence that if I am wrong, I'll happily vacate Parliament. But I'm asking this committee, because those hotels were bought with the proceeds of the police portfolio's money, I'm asking the committee to subpoena the ledgers and the books so we can see who's being invoiced for what. Because I'm telling you with confidence, and I dare General Khumalo or General Masimola to go and lay a charge against me in the morning for what I'm about to say. That hotel is part of a big money laundering scheme.
You stated in your evidence after meeting IDAC, you considered that the case was finalized in paragraph 11. Is that correct?
I considered the issue finalized in that I've done my job.
Correct.
I've given the information to the IGI. I've described to the IDAC what's happened. I'm out of this now. That's what I'm thinking. The investigation must flow. And if the documentation I handed is fraudulent, nothing will come from it. And hopefully someone does their job if the information is verified.
You then, I think in the next paragraph, you spoke about you went to the IG. You gave all the information over to Advocate Governor. And in this paragraph, I would think you think, well, now it's final.
Yes, essentially.
Did you do anything after this you've gone to IDAC, you've done that. Did you consult with the police portfolio? Did you consult with the minister? Did you consult with anybody after this?
I decided after bringing things up at the police portfolio that it was hopeless, in my view. And I say it again, it's a self-criticism. I sit in that portfolio as well. I did not speak to the minister further. I do not have the minister's number. I don't have conversation. The only minister I actually speak to is Gayton McKenzie. And that's more of a, it's a whole colored thing. It's a different type of vibe.
I want to ask this question. You say you considered it finalized, but you've also at the same time in this committee spoken about a very strong conviction of you, accountability, transparency. You wanted to see prosecutions. Did you consider it finalized personally, or well, whatever happens kind of finalized?
No, I considered it finalized personally. As in, I've done what I can do. There's no more I can do after this. I was just too happy that someone was saying that they'll investigate.
I understand. Honorable Adams, it was alluded to previously, and I want to bring it up again because it bothers me to a point. You can't help if someone slips something under your door, as much as you can't help if someone leaves something on your windscreen. I understand that. And your name has, according to you, also been dragged through the mud. Your family's in danger, and all of these type of things. And I know it's not your job to investigate either. But in order for your own name, why didn't you try and get camera footage already? I mean, I'm just looking at it from a logical standpoint. If I was in the firing line, I would have definitely tried to at least get camera footage, find out who's scanning. And you said it when you were verbalizing again, 6:15 every morning you're in the office. So, you have a timeline, you have a whole schedule.
Honorable Klopper, I was under the impression that state security would have done that already. Therefore, I didn't bother. And also, I'm concerned about the safety of the person that slipped it under my door, to be honest with you.
Say again, sorry?
Recently, I've thought to myself, how long is this person going to live when they find out his identity or her identity? So, for me, I'm hoping state security knows who it is. But I'm also hoping they don't disclose the identity because funny things are happening right now.
You see, Honorable Adams, I think the problem that I have with this type of how this matter was dealt with is in this case that maybe did work out in a great favor, that people were arrested and brought to book and are facing trials and all of that. But we also have heard in many of the testimonies here with just banning PKTT, exposing people, suddenly withdrawing them, it put them at risk. And I think that's the reason I'm concerned about the way the crime intelligence or the information is leaking. Because today it works out and tomorrow someone's dead for the same thing. And I think that's what concerns this committee, because our terms of reference isn't to decide whether you're guilty or innocent or prosecute you. We're not prosecutors. I don't pretend to be one. But it's to understand, how do we strengthen our institutions? And if people are allowed to walk into parliaments and slip a paper under your door that's got information, I mean, they can slip into parliament and slit your throat too.
I don't disagree with you, Chief.
So,
I do not disagree with you one bit.
Honorable Adams, I'll rest there. I have actually quite a lot of more questions, but okay, I just want to ask this quickly. Three short questions. You obviously have been following the committee and all of these committees of the Ad Hoc Commission, and you are aware of the allegations made by Kat Mhlala that former Minister Cele received large sums of money.
Yes, I am.
You're also aware former Cele also met with Kat Mhlala according to his own witness statement, where Mr. Mhlala proceeded to tell him he was being pressured into false statements against SAPS members for the theft of Rolex watches, etc.
Yes, I am.
Literally admitting that he was lying and putting fellow policemen in prison.
That's why I said he's a thug.
According to your statement, paragraph 25.1, you say General Mkhwanazi knew former Minister Cele was attempting to pull him into wrongdoings, but did nothing to distance himself. Are you then saying that General Mkhwanazi is protecting former Minister Cele?
You know, Honorable Nombalo, I think it was Nombalo, he actually makes a good point. Because when I heard wrongdoings, I immediately I imagined all types of criminality. But it could, or was it Honorable? It was Sangoni, sorry. It could have been something like a naughty boys trip. It could have been a night at Mavericks. So that part of my statement, now that I have another view of it, it could have been anything. But at the time, yes, no, he's protecting Cele. But like I say, I'm looking at it from another angle and there is another explanation. And I must be honest about it.